Coin of Lublin. Tzadok was one of the great Hasidic thinkers of the late 19th century, and he was a prolific author as well. He wrote lots and lots and lots of stuff. And this is from his sefer. It's actually not a sefer which he wrote himself. It's a sefer which was written by his Talmidim, the pre-Tzaddik, they were on the Al Torah. Okay, so let us begin with Yud Ches here on page Reish Magdalad. It says in this week's parsha, in Parsha Nitzavim, that Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to circumcise your heart and the hearts of the hearts of your children. Isa Baal Turim. So the Baal Turim says in this pasuk, Es levavcha v'es levav aroshe tevos elu. Es levavcha v'es levav are the first two letters. If you take the first letter of each word, you get elu. And therefore, evidently Baal Turim was a Sephardi, right? Therefore, we started saying slichos from Rosh Chodesh Elu. We don't do that, says Reb Tzadok. What we do is we blow the shofar. That's our custom, which is considerably easier than getting over slichos. This because arouses people to do tshuva. Commotion Emar, it says, "Im yitokash shofar ba'ir va'am lo yechradu." Will a shofar be blown in the city and the people not be frightened? So, in order to frighten us, we blow the shofar from Rosh Chodesh Elul. V'hainu she'aseres me'tshuva matzchilim mirosh Hashanah. The aseres me'tshuva obviously begin Rosh Hashanah, but also Rosh Chodesh, the Chodesh Shekolim Lo, the month prior, Gankei Zman Tshuva. It's also a time of doing tshuva. Masha Maramol Hashem begomer Mirameis. This teaches us Shab Mitzad Hashem Yisborach Musugal Oso Chodesh L'Rachamim. So what it says, Umol Hashem. Hashem's going to circumcise your heart. So it means it's not just that we can do tshuva, but rather Kodesh Baruch Hu comes towards us and helps us to do tshuva. Right? There's a reciprocity there. Shachar shetiber she'azing yehem yimei ratzon. Those are days of ratzon. Those days when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with us. Shalom Moshe Rabbeinu leva shalom. When Moshe Rabbeinu went up with kabel luchos achronos, Moshe Rabbeinu received the second luchos, the second tablets of the Aseres HaDibros from Rosh Chodesh Elul. He was on top of the mountain until Yom Kippur. He was on top of the mountain. So that was the time when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was, as the Chazal say, Misratze Barachamim. He reconnected with us out of mercy. Hashem helps us do tshuva. V'zeu mal Hashem lekecha v'gomer shachar shetiber l'mala mitshuva mishemitzad ha'adam. Previously, we spoke. The pasuk speaks about tshuva. The last mitzvah in the Torah is the mitzvah of tshuva, right? No, the second class. So the second class, right? Actually, when you're in Golus, you're going to think, okay, what's going on here? And you go to the tshuva. So then it says at that point, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if those have been cast aside at the end of the heavens, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring them back. But it seems it's not parallel, because before, when we're talking about being spread out, it says Hasher hifitzcha Hashem elokecha. Hashem distributed you, and here it says nidach, which means much more cast aside. Somebody's nidach is pushed away. So it's not symmetrical here. How do we understand it? So he says, "Below my shadich k'mosh kasav le'el b'kodem ha'pasuk v'shavas v'shavto," and it doesn't say eidichacha like it said in the previous pasuk. U'k'mosh amar, so it says shachar tshuva kvar einam bichlal nidachim. So he says after tshuva. So the way he's understanding the pasukim is that first you're going to be nidachim, and then you're going to go do tshuva, and then you're going to only be nifotzim, cast around, and then Kosh Baruch is going to bring you back. Because perhaps there's somebody who's still very distant. Same Shechim with Shofar Gadol, and they require the great shofar. T'chsiv Bayomo Yitaka b'Shofar Gadol Uvo Ovdim Beretz Ashuv and Yidachim Beretz Mitzrayim. So it says that this in the pasuk here, Uvo Ovdim Beretz Ashur. Ovdim are people who are lost. Nidachim are worse. Ovdim are in Eretz Ashur. Nidachim are in Eretz Mitzrayim. So let's see how he explains that. So he says, Ovdim hainu shenitmu beina umos. These are people who have been assimilated among the nations. Veinam yodim klau she'em mizera Yisrael. They don't know that they're of Jewish descent. They have no clue. And Nidachim Eretz Mitzrayim shenidachim kokach b'klipa to klipa kamo b'Mitzrayim. But there are those who are worse off. Which is okay. If you don't know you're Jewish, that's bad enough. But if you're involved in all sorts of inappropriate activities, like was the case with Egypt at the time of Yetzias Mitzrayim, when they're surrounded by tumah, like people who like as if they are in the womb of their mothers, they need a greater shofar. And that, in fact, the shofar gadol brings back all Jews. Now it's interesting because in Chazal we find very often that, like in Masechus Menachos, it says that oil mazeh is like hay, is created with the letter hay, and oil mabah is created with the letter yud. And Chazal say there that's because in oil mazeh you can fall out through the bottom, right? And then if you want to come back, you have to come back through the side. Yeah.
Where does it say that Olam Hazeh is created with hay?
In Menachos.
And where does it say it's created with yud?
Same place. No, Olam Haba with yud.
Huh?
Olam Hazeh is created with a yud, hay, and Olam Haba is created with a yud.
Olam Hazeh is created with a yud hay.
No.
Yud, and then okay.
Olam Hazeh is with the hay. Olam Haba with the yud. So obviously Olam Hazeh is not complete. It's only half. That's why it's a hay. But besides that, Chazal say that Olam Hazeh is like a hay because you can fall out. If you do tshuva, you have to come in through the side. Anybody familiar with that Gemara?
Yeah, I've read it before.
Gemara says in Menachos that if you fall out of the bottom of the hay, you have to come back up. But you can't come back up through the bottom. You have to come up through the side. And because it's once you fell out a certain way, you have to find a different way to go in. And the Yud, say Chazal, represents the number of tzaddikim which are going to be in Olam Haba, which is very small.
The hay? Yud.
The Yud. Yes. Did I say a hay? No. Okay. The Yud is very small, so the number of tzaddikim in the world to come are going to be very small.
I also heard that like the Yud's little bend to the top because like they bend their necks and like humbleness.
Yes, they bend their necks to each other. Yes. In humility, relative to each other. Yes. So the Gemara seems to be saying that there are very few tzaddikim who make it to Olam Haba, right? But on the other hand, we have the Bryce says, "Kol Yisrael shem chelik Olam Haba," right? All Jews have chelik Olam Haba. Shneimar, v'amek chulam tzaddikim lo lam yushu aretz. That your people are all tzaddikim, and they're going to inherit eternity. So we have in Chazal two very distinct perspectives, which we can reconcile, but I don't feel like we have to do it right now. Which is one of them is that there are very few tzaddikim make it to Olam Haba, and the other is that everybody makes it to Olam Haba. Okay? Yes?
Wouldn't tzaddikim make other people look righteous by finding their merits?
You want to explain? You want to elaborate?
Like normally a tzaddik would like speak for a person, it's like Hashem, something like that.
That's
like the same way Hashem does that, like a tzaddik also. So then to Hashem, I mean everyone already looks like a tzaddik.
Yeah. So, but the thing is like this: it's very difficult. That works in this world to a large extent because if a tzaddik is going to have anguish in this world from somebody else suffering, so therefore Kosh Baruch Hu is going to listen to his philos. That's at least the idea. But in the world to come, it's not so simple. In the world to come, at some point, a person who did Averos is going to have to suffer for their Averos in order to get cleansed from them. Right? So there is that the power of a tzaddik to daven for somebody is specifically in this world. In the world to come, it's not the same thing. And I know it says that a tzaddik can be a melitz yosher.
Like advocates for him in heaven.
Yes, but it's not going to have the same effect, which it has it's not going to have the same effect in deflecting punishment that it has in this world. Again, after a person's dead, if they haven't done tshuva, they need kapara. They need to suffer. If they're not going to suffer, what good does it do that the tzaddik says, don't make them suffer? But how are you going to cleanse the avera? The idea of Gehenim is that it cleanses you. So
it's actually a good thing to go to Gehenim.
Oh, of course, it's a big bracha. If somebody tells you to go to hell, it's a tremendous bracha. You know that.
Oh, you should say amen.
Yes, because because it's to get in. You need a special schus to get into hell. It's not so simple.
I heard also like the really big Rishonim, they go into like nothing.
They go into kafakela.
They go into like nothing. They get chased around by their own malachim.
Right, they get chased around by the malachi chavala of their averos. Yes, and sometimes it can take them a tremendous amount of time to get into to Gehenna. Why is that?
What?
Why can't they go right away?
To Gehenna?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't even. Oh, I thought they don't even get to go to Gehenna.
No, eventually, but it takes a long time. Yeah.
I thought they stay in there forever, for all eternity.
Well, hopefully not. No.
Well, Hashem does it. Hashem is merciful. So
Yes.
these are really horrible people.
Yeah.
Why do they have to
Like
wait?
Adolf Hitler. you know,
What?
Why do they have to wait?
They have to wait because they don't feel remorse. They don't feel remorse after they die. In other words, a person doesn't. A person who dies with his desires and with his imperfections and with his wickedness intact, it doesn't dissipate after he dies. It continues to be who the person is. It takes a long time for him to diminish that desire and drive to diminish until he actually can get into the state of remorse, which is Gehenna.
Remorse goes away?
What?
The remorse goes away?
No, the remorse has to come.
I'm saying remorse has to, and if it doesn't come, it says certain people didn't have remorse.
Yeah, then it can take years.
The Gemara with, was it Bilam or another one? He said they
Yes, thousands of hundreds of years, he's still burning. Yes,
he didn't have remorse. He didn't
Yeah.
have remorse.
right.
Doesn't sound like a difficult bar to reach though, because if a regular person has taibas and then they get chas v'shalom hit by a car and they died, so they died with their taibas, so now they're going to be chased around by malachim.
So it says, what are the malachim? Malachim, if we take it on a slightly more rational perspective. So the malachim we're talking about are the malachi chavola, right, bad angels, and the bad angels really are desire itself. Chatoim tirdof ra, chatoim are pursued by their own wickedness. Now let's say, I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say during your lifetime you had a tremendous yetzar for cheeseburgers. This is a relatively innocuous example, but a tremendous yetzar for cheeseburgers, and then you die. You still want cheeseburgers.
Right.
One second. The problem is that you cannot get cheeseburgers because you can't eat them. You're not alive anymore, and B, because it wouldn't give you the same satisfaction. But you don't realize that. So the neshama is constantly pursuing the cheeseburger. That's the sin itself. Yes.
But the Neshama doesn't have desires. How is the goof that has desires?
The goof imprints its desires on the neshama.
The Neshama itself can't have desires.
Why not?
The goof that-
It's pure because it says
I thought it was-
Neshama
I
Torah.
Yeah, neshama shenasata bi toiroi.
I thought it was this.
No, when he gave it to me, it was tor. It says, the Gemara says in the Baba Basra, that after everybody dies, they go to Adam Rishon and they say, it's your fault that I died, right? And then Adam Rishon says, oh yes, it's my fault? Didn't you sin in such and such sin? So the Rav Dessler, I believe it is, who writes that it means, no, this is from Dayo. He says that everybody thinks that that their Averos come from Adam Rishon. And that's why they say, you instill the Yetzer Hara in me, it's your fault. But then, but then they come to Adam Rishon, and Adam Rishon says, what about this Avera? This Avera didn't come from me. This one you brought on yourself. In other words, I maybe gave you Yetzer Hara for X, but you got your own Yetzer Hara for Y. And that imprints your neshama and remains with us until it's cleansed. The Reb Chaim Volozhner, the entire first shar of the Nefesh HaChaim, speaks out how a person is walking around all the time with his Olam Haba and with his Gehenim. Because the Olam Haba you get, and the Gehenim you get, it's not outside of you, it's inside of you. What does it mean it's inside of you? Whenever you do an Aveira, you're Metame your Neshama. That tumah remains with you unless you do tshuva. Whenever you do a mitzvah, you're Metayr your Neshama. That Tara remains with you unless you somehow lose it. That's why, one second, that's why it says Reb Chaim Volozhner that you can't say, like most of us do, gotta let this slip. In other words, we'll make a deal on this one. Because it's not, says Reb Chaim Volozhner, that Hashem punishes you, Hashem rewards you, and therefore Hashem can let things go. No, you do it to yourself. It's a closed system. You do an Aveira, you punish yourself. You take the Taver wherever you go. You do a mitzvah, you reward yourself. So therefore, the only way to eradicate an Aveira is by tshuva. This is a pretty extreme statement, and I once heard that in the name of Rabbi Weinberg from Baltimore, that he said that this is almost apikorsis, almost heretical, because it sounds like
What's that?
what Chaim Volozhner says.
What's apicorsis?
Heresy.
Heresy?
Heresy.
How can you say you don't
Heresy.
know?
Yeah, I said it doesn't say it's almost. Okay? Because it comes out that it's a closed system. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not part of it. It's really you doing it. Hashem put the system in place, and then you do it to yourself. That's why Reb Chaim Volozhner holds that you cannot buy and sell your portion in the world to come. Okay, and that's why he holds there's no such thing really as Yisachar Zvul in the way people normally understand it, because how can a mitzvah I do be shared with you in the same way? You can get the reward for having supported me in doing the mitzvah, but you can't get the reward of the mitzvah itself because it imprints on my neshama. Doesn't imprint on your neshama, and vice versa. So the neshama itself contains the Gan Eden and the Gehenim, the reward and punishment, which a person experiences after death.
So how is the process?
What's your name, by the way?
Yocham.
From where?
Once you look around there.
Okay.
What's your name?
Yosef Beckhofer. It's on the door, I think.
Beckhofer?
Yes.
Beckhofer?
Yeah.
So how Gehenim is where the typhus get cleansed, right? How does that work? How does a person goes Gehenim, they come out, oh, right, I'm typhus. That sounds like magic.
It's tremendous. No, it's the shame and remorse and regret which cleanse it.
How does that work?
Just like tshuva works. How does tshuva work? Yeah, a tshuva works through. It's a tremendous chiddush, but tshuva means that even though your regret and remorse is not on the same level as the enjoyment and pleasure you had from the aveira, nevertheless it cleanses it. It's a tremendous chiddush, and that's why the way Chazal expresses it, they say tshuva was created before the world was created because it's beyond this world. It doesn't really make sense, but it's a tremendous gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you don't make use of that gift of tshuva, so then you're stuck. After you die, you have to go through the full process. And the full process means that you have to undergo remorse and a sense of shame and degradation until finally it compensates for the Aveira's imprint, it cleanses the Aveira's imprint from you.
So,
by the way, I think it's the Ashur quotes the Amshin it says that Shuva, as in Shabbos Shuva, is the same letters as Busha. Because to return to Hashem is to be embarrassed from the Aveira which one did.
So how would let's say if a person did an Aveira and he felt no regret, like, oh, I'm doing an Aveira and I'm not going to care about it. How does Gehenna make him suddenly care?
It's not sudden. It takes a long time. Nothing's sudden. It might take him many, many years to, in Kaf Akela, in that first stage. What?
I thought Gehenna was 12 months. That's what we say Kaddish for 11 months.
We hope. No, it's an optimistic perspective.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
So a person can do tshuva in Gehenna?
That's what it's not. Yeah, but it's tshuva the long way. It's not tshuva as it is in this world.
The person is like some kind of fire. Oh, it's the fire of remorse, of regret.
Yes.
Oh.
Rabbi Solanter says that why the Chazal tell us.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you something very unpleasant right now. Chazal says Rabbi
As if it wasn't bad enough up to now.
Rabbi Solanter says.
Before Rosh
So
Hashanah,
it
you
must
have
be
to
the
have
Gehenna's actually
Rabbi
worse
Miller actually said
here.
you should talk about Gehenna. A lot of people don't talk about
Yeah.
it.
So he said Rabbi Solanter says why is the Chazal use the mashal of fire for Gehenna? So he says it's in order to make a Gehenna real from your perspective. It's not
Make
good.
what? Make-
Real. So he says you're supposed to imagine. This is the exercise he wants you to do. Imagine putting your finger on a hot stove, right? And then imagine you can't go like this, but you have to keep it there.
Oh my God.
And you have to keep it there for minute after minute after minute. And then go through a whole year with one finger, then go on to the second finger, and then go on to the third finger, and so on and so forth. Yes,
Did he do it himself?
Eventually.
I assume so.
Well, if
Yeah.
you're cold enough, maybe you can extinguish the fire.
Yeah. Okay, so the
And yet there's a mitzvah of a simcha. I can
Yeah.
do both at the same time.
because so Reb Tzadok says here that this is the idea that there's nobody's lost.
Depends on which way you think that's it.
Right? There's a shofar gadol which works for everybody. Okay, so he says let's go a little further here. We're in the bottom first column. Lachein amar loshen yeni dachacha. Those who are really cast aside, yeh dacha b'ktzei hashamayim.
Really?
The last two lines in the first column. Ulamala parsha kodem parsha tochachos lo ksiv rak ve'fitzcha miktzei aretz v'ktzei aretz. There it says it's a lesson language of scattered, not of cast aside. V'ktzei aretz. V'avlo lamar gam kan im yeh dacha b'ktzei aretz. So why does it say? Why are all these things asymmetrical? Sometimes it says fitzcha, it's going to scatter you. Sometimes it says nidachacha, which means you really cast aside. Achzeh musav al neshama shel adam. So he says, no, when it says fitzcha, it's going on the neshama. K'mosh nidrash, yikra hashamayim me'al, zu neshama. That which calls to heaven above, that's the neshama. V'amar lashon, b'ktzei hashamayim. Hainu she'enam chutz l'shamayim legamrei. A neshama is never completely outside of the heavens. K'tzei hashamayim, he says, it's at the outer limits of the heavens. But the neshama always remains divine. No matter how far away it goes, it always remains divine. And this is a basic principle of Kabbalah and Hasidus, which is that a Jewish neshama is unique and has a special pintaliyid, a special point within it, which can never be extinguished. Okay, so that is b'ktzei hashamayim. It doesn't go outside. Which would mean they have no possibility of grabbing onto Kedusha. Rakim o b'ktzei hashamayim. They are at the end of Shemayim. Sheyesh lehem achiza b'neshama od ma. There's still some grip of the neshama on holiness. V'azeh amar yikabetzcha Hashem elokecha misham yikachecha. So there, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to take you from there. Hayimitzad Hashem Yisbarach. K'mo shenemar v'asisa asher b'chukai teilechu. So there's a Chazal say is about to bring down Gemara Sanhedrin that Am Yisrael is eventually Mashiach is going to come, has to come, right? So Mashiach. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just reading a book and everything you're just saying it pieced together makes so much sense.
Oh, Baruch Hashem. Eventually Mashiach has to come. Now, in my opinion, he ain't coming for a long time, because I don't see how Klal Yisrael could possibly deserve Mashiach, but eventually he has to come. Yeah, I'm waiting for him. But that doesn't mean you have to anticipate his coming tomorrow. In my limited understanding, because the reason Mashiach, the base Mikdash was destroyed is because of Sinas Chinam, right? Because of hatred. No. Sinas Chinam is the underlying cause of Lashon Hara. Okay. So Sinas Chinam is because of baseless hatred and detestation and rivalry between Jews, and it doesn't seem to have gotten any better. It seems to be getting worse.
It says that by the time Mashiach comes in, the Jewish nation is going to drop to the 50th level of Torah.
That's one, right, but that we haven't gotten there.
So I think on
Promise
some
we're not
level-
there yet either. It's a good thing we're not there yet, but,
But the 50
Right,
levels are
Baruch Hashem.
comparable.
what?
Like Baruch Hashem, but like
Yeah.
It says he can come in with Kuli Chayev.
Yeah, but we're not Kulu Chayv. We're somewhere in the middle, that's the thing. Rabbi Isai, everybody has to wait and yearn for Mashiach every day. When you get up to Shemaim, one of the things they ask you to see peace of Yeshua. Did you yearn for the redemption every day? But that doesn't mean you can't be realistic and say, okay, I really want the Yeshua to come today, but I'm a bit pessimistic about it actually happening. Does that make sense? No.
not to me, but
Why?
fair enough. Everyone's entitled to.
Why does it make sense?
I don't think the world. I don't like. In my personal limited opinion, I don't see how we could continue without Mashiach. Like the direction, the downward spiral that this world is in. I don't see how it can last much longer.
Every generation says that. You know that? Every generation sits destruction of the base of Mikdash. Every generation says, no, we've really hit rock bottom. So maybe we have. But I'm just saying that's a standard perspective every generation has. And just like every generation of adults thinks that its children are the worst, right? The next generation is going to regard, I think its children are the worst. So it's kind of like...
But it's actually just the same thing.
What?
It's actually just average.
Yeah.
Not really much difference.
Well, yeah, it's an very small. It could be that it could be the smartphone is the end of civilization as we know it. In which case, yes,
It appears that way.
right. In which case, could be that Mashiach is coming. I have a smartphone friend in recording, but it could be that the Mashiach has to come because that's it. It's over. But I don't know. History has to play out a bit more to try to see if that happens.
There's only like 200 years or something.
Yeah, but that's 200 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, I heard from my rabbi that I could be into the 6,000 year too. I could be like, it could be like 6,000, it could be like into.
We know for a fact that he has to count for 6,000.
Yeah, it's a Gemara.
Gemara said that?
Yes.
What does it say?
She wanted to that. She's Amma Shnin Avi Amma. 6,000 years is the world, and that's it. It's
The
destroyed.
question is what the 6,000 is.
Yes. Rabbi said, since getting late, I just want to ask. Wait. We have still 5 minutes. I want to ask ask a question. I just started doing this for Psaudim because I didn't know what else to teach today on the first day. I'm happy to do a different format. Any format you want.
We took all the Rabbah next
Every Monday. So, yeah, fine. It's fine with me. So I have a point man here, Mayor. So you can ask to discuss with Mayor what you like to discuss. We can do, random topics also.
Very fascinating class.
Okay, we try. So again, I just use this as a springboard to start a conversation today. Anyway, so what? Somebody have a question, or can we go a little bit further? Okay, so let's go a little bit further. So it says, eventually HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has a vested interest in getting this world to come to its shleimus. So he's going to bring it about. I'm going to make them go my laws. Moshe HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mami v'chulei ka'aman. Shem sends a king who's tough like Haman, and Yisrael suffer, and Yisrael owes him tshuva. Now it says Hashem brings you to land, he brings you back to Kedusha after making sure that you do tshuva. And he's going to do good to you and make you greater than your previous generations. So he says, normally you understand Beit Tivcha means he's going to do good to you. Hashem is going to be good to you. No, he says Beit Tivcha means Hashem is going to make us good. Beit Tivcha means he's going to make us tov. Okay, not he's going to bestow tov on us, but he's going to make us tov. And he's going to make you greater than your parents. Al derech she'amru b'makom shebalei tshuva omdim, tzadikim gemurim einam omdim. So actually, when a person does tshuva, whether it's even if he is compelled, so to speak, by Kodesh Baruch Hu to do it, nevertheless, he still reaches a very high madrega, greater than a person who never did tshuva. Tshuva is extremely high madrega, which everybody can do according to their level, but certainly a person does tshuva is a greater person. A person never does tshuva. And it's tzaddik all over, and many says that Averos a person does should not get a person depressed, because it's like a slingshot, right? Or no, slingshot is wrong term. Like a bow and arrow, right? When you draw the bow back, so then the arrow is released with greater force. So the Averos are drawing a person backwards, but then when he springs back, the force is greater. That's the Makom Shabali Tshuva Omdim. In other words, the Averos themselves serve as a catalyst and therefore bring about a greater, more powerful form of Avodas Hashem in the end. Okay? So, V'amar, Mola Hashem l'chechos l'vavcha, Hashem Yisbarach mitzido Yosser hayetzara milvavecha. Hashem is going to remove the yetzara if you get to that level where you even begin the tshuva, so then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to help you out. That's levav zarecha. HaPeirush k'mo she'marnu l'mala. She'izbaru kol kach she'aboni kvar yu nolodim b'kedusha. Then eventually you're going to get to the level at the end of time that the children were born in a state of kedusha, like Adam Rishon before the sin, below yetzara. Lo k'mo she'yah b'shas Matan Torah, not like it was at the time of Matan Torah. When afterwards they went back, V'amar. And it says, Hashem is going to circumcise your heart so you love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Al Derech Shomrim U'Shema Rebbe Reber Zatzal. The Rebbe Reber was the Mezritcher Magid. Mezritcher Magid was the main Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov, right? So, She'ikar Yishtadlu Sa'adam Mitzido, the main effort we have to make, Tzarchlios Ikar B'Yira, has to be Yiras Hashem. K'mo Shneimar says, Hashem Ma Hashem L'kecha Shoah Me'imcha, Kim L'Yira. You have to work on your awe. V'hava Ba'achar Kach, Mimeil Mitzad Hashem Yisbarach, B'Toras Matana. And then Hashem gives you the love as a gift. It's an amazing statement for a chassid to make, because normally you associate Misnagdim with Yira and Chasidim with Ahava, because Misnagdim focus on fear, and Chasidim focus on love. But the Rebbe Reber said, no, we ourselves, our focus has to be on Yiras Hashem, Lo of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the truth is, all the davening in Rosh Hashanah is all about the awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's all about the awesomeness of Hashem. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu bestows upon us that love as a gift. So a person's always supposed to work on. That's the difference between the Bali Musar and the Chasidim in reality. The Bali Musar, Rabbi Yisrael Santer said, we should really focus on Yiras Onesh, on being afraid of burning in hell. And he says, because let's be realistic, that's where we're holding. The Chasidim do not focus on that. The Chasidim focus on Yiras Aromamus, on the awe of Hashem, which is a higher level of Yira. The Bali Musar holds that the Chasidim are faking it. So that's why they...
both, right? Don't we need both?
What?
Don't we do both? We try to do both?
You try to do both, but the question is whether you... what's the emphasis? Okay?
The Greek tzaddik was Hasidish?
Yeah.
Talmud of?
The Ishbitzer. The Yeshua.
I think someone has Yeshivas for speaking about certain sex of Judaism, huh?
What?
Sounds like someone has to do Shuvah, the Baal Musar and the Chassidim, what's going on with you?
No. Everybody has their own perspective. One is not supposed to go through life uncritically, right? So.
I mean, some call me the biggest skeptic here, but yeah, sure.
So you're good.
He got the joke.
Okay. So are you a skeptic?
Totally.
Okay. So what's the issue?
It's fine. Okay. I was just trying to make a statement. It's okay.
So so then afterwards he says, and the proof text he brings is that for Chazal to say, "Darko shalish chazer isha." Am Yisrael like the Kala, and Hashem is like the Chassan, and Hashem really is supposed to pursue us. So therefore, once we have that Yira, so then HaKadosh Baruch Hu bestows the Abba. So the idea of this, Reb Tzadok is talking about in the grand scheme of things mostly, but this happens also on a micro level. Every Rosh, not a macro level, but a micro level for everybody, every Yelul and Yom Noraim. And the idea is that we should look to have that awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that awe of HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring us eventually, we hope, and eventually it comes and goes to Av of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which Hashem will give us as a gift. And the idea is that the neshama always has the capacity, no matter how far a person's gone, to come back and connect to Kedusha. That's the idea of the Im Yeni Dachacha B'Ktzei HaShamayim. It never goes beyond the Shamayim. So we should all be zeicha to that, hooking into that and doing tshuva properly in this time of year.